Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive with us. This time we're looking at something that's probably on a lot of parents' minds these days. Roblox. It's
Yeah.
this huge online platform where kids can create games and hang out with friends and all that. But there's some safety concerns that come with it too.
Yeah, that's right. It can be a bit of a minefield for parents trying to figure out how to keep their kids safe. So that's what we're going to deep dive into today, looking at both the good and the bad sides of Roblox, and especially focusing on what families can do, what young players can do, to stay safe.
Exactly. We're not here to scare anyone away from it.
Yeah.
It's more about giving you the information you need so you can make those informed decisions. We've got a whole bunch of articles and reports here. And one thing that really stood out to me is just how popular Roblox is. I mean, 78 million daily active users, and a big chunk of those are preteens.
Yeah, it's really become a phenomenon,
Okay.
especially with that younger age group.
So what do you think it is about Roblox that's so appealing to kids?
Well, I think it's that sense of possibility. It's not just about playing games, it's about creating them, building your own world, sharing them with friends. It's like this giant virtual playground where anything can happen.
That makes sense. It sounds like a lot of fun. But then
Yeah.
you start reading about some of these stories,
Mhm.
and it's like, wait a minute. How can this platform that's so popular also be a place where kids might be at risk?
Right. That's the tricky part. Because the same features that make it so attractive to kids can also, unfortunately, attract people who might want to take advantage of them.
So you're saying it's kind of a double-edged sword?
Yeah, in a way, the social aspect, the chat features, the virtual currency, all of that can be manipulated. There was this one case, I don't know if you read about it, about this developer who went by the name Doc.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember that one.
Yeah.
He created that really popular Sonic the Hedgehog game, right?
Right, exactly. And he seemed like, a legitimate, successful developer, popular with the kids, but he was actually using that popularity to manipulate young fans, making inappropriate jokes and comments that some of them unfortunately didn't recognize as harmful.
Wow, that's scary. And you're saying this wasn't just a one-off thing?
No, sadly it wasn't. There have been other cases too, like those involving Robux, the virtual currency in Roblox.
Right, I was going to ask about that. I have to admit, I don't really understand how that whole Robux thing works.
So basically, Robux is how kids buy things in the game, like clothes for their avatars
Mhm.
or special abilities. You can buy Robux with real money, and some kids really want a lot of it to get all the cool stuff.
Okay, I'm starting to see where this is going.
Yeah, so that's where the danger comes in. Because there have been cases where individuals have manipulated kids into trading Robux for things that are inappropriate or even illegal, exploiting that desire for virtual wealth.
That's just awful. It's like they're using the game's own features to target kids. I mean, are these just isolated incidents?
Yeah.
Or is there a bigger pattern here?
I hate to say it, but there have been quite a few arrests related to this kind of activity on Roblox, so it's definitely something to be concerned about.
That's really disturbing to hear.
Mm.
But is Roblox doing anything to try to address these problems?
They are, and that's the good news. They've been stepping up their efforts to try and identify and remove inappropriate content, and they're also implementing some stricter safety measures.
Well, that's good to know. What kind of safety measures are we talking about?
Well, one big thing is increased moderation. They've really expanded their moderation team so they can more quickly identify and remove accounts that are engaging in harmful behavior.
Okay, so more people are keeping an eye on things.
Exactly. And they've also implemented stricter policies against inappropriate language and behavior in the game.
That makes sense. But what about preventing these kinds of interactions from happening in the first place?
That's where parental controls come in.
Oh, right. Those things.
Yeah. Roblox actually has a pretty good suite of parental controls that allow you to set limits on who your kids can chat with, what games they can access, and even how much they can spend on Robux.
So it's really up to parents to use those tools and make sure they understand how they work.
Exactly. It's like anything else. You got to be informed and proactive.
I guess that's true.
Hmm.
But sometimes I feel like those parental controls just shift the responsibility on the parents. Shouldn't Roblox itself be doing more to prevent these problems?
I see your point. It's a tough balance between giving kids freedom to explore and making sure they're safe. I think Roblox is trying to find that balance. They've started implementing things like content labels for games, which give parents more information about what their child might encounter.
Oh, so it's not just about age ratings anymore.
Right. It's more specific than that. They use labels like minimal or mild or moderate to describe the level of violence or scary content or crude humor that might be in a game.
That's actually really helpful.
And they're also working on even tighter restrictions on chat for users under 13, requiring parental approval for direct messaging.
So it sounds like they are making some progress,
Yeah, I think so. They're definitely moving in the right direction.
but, you know, sometimes I think the best defense
Yeah.
is just talking to our kids.
Absolutely.
I mean, technology changes so fast, it's hard to keep up with everything.
You're right.
But if we can keep those lines of communication open and just talk to our kids about online safety,
That's the key.
that's got to be more effective than any parental control.
I agree.
Okay, so let's talk about that. What are some practical things that we can do to help our kids stay safe on Roblox?
Well, first and foremost, keep those lines of communication open, like you were saying. Talk to your kids about online safety. Make sure they know they can come to you if anything makes them feel uncomfortable or unsafe.
It's all about communication.
Exactly.
The more informed they are,
Hmm.
the better equipped they'll be to handle tricky situations.
And another thing you can do is play Roblox with them.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, get to know the platform yourself. See what games they're interested in. Understand how the social features work.
It's easy to just say, go play in your room.
Right.
But if we're actively involved,
Exactly.
we can spot potential problems more easily.
And you can have more informed conversations with your kids about what they're doing online.
And so we're not just spying on them.
No, not at all. It's about being involved and engaged.
Okay, so besides playing Roblox with them,
Right.
are there any other specific things we should be talking to our kids about?
Definitely. One big one is personal information. Remind them to never share personal information online, like their full name or address or phone number or school.
That's basic internet safety 101, right?
It is, but it's easy to forget, especially when you're caught up in a game.
And what about friend requests
Mm-hmm.
from people they don't know in real life?
Yes, that's a big one. Because making new friends online is a big part of the appeal of Roblox.
Right.
But it's important to talk to them
Yeah.
about the potential dangers of interacting with strangers online.
So encourage them to only accept friend requests from people they know and trust in real life.
Exactly.
And if someone they don't know starts asking personal questions or making them feel uncomfortable.
They should know to report it, either to you or using the reporting tools within Roblox.
Okay, good advice. And what about Robux? Anything specific we should be telling kids about that?
Yeah, definitely. Talk to them about the value of Robux, how it's essentially virtual money, and explain that they should be cautious of anyone offering them free Robux or trying to pressure them into trades that seem too good to be true.
So basically, don't believe everything you see online.
Right.
And if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Exactly.
And of course, set clear limits on how much they can spend.
Absolutely.
These are all really great tips. Thanks for sharing those.
You're welcome.
It's a lot to think about, but it's so important because online safety isn't just about Roblox. It's about helping our kids navigate the entire digital world responsibly.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So we've talked about a lot of the risks associated with Roblox, but I don't want to leave people with the impression that it's all bad,
Right.
because there's obviously a lot of good stuff too.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
a really powerful platform for creativity and learning and socializing.
So it's all about finding that balance,
Right.
recognizing both the potential and the pitfalls, and using that knowledge to make informed decisions.
And remembering that online safety, it's not just a one-time conversation, it's an ongoing process.
You're so right. We have to stay engaged, stay informed, and keep talking to our kids.
Absolutely.
It's like anything else in parenting. We learn as we go, and we adapt to new challenges.
And what's encouraging is that Roblox itself is evolving too.
Oh, yeah. They're not just ignoring these issues.
No, they're actively working to improve their safety measures and adapt to the changing landscape of online risks.
Like we talked about earlier, with those new features they're implementing, the
Right.
content labels for games,
Yeah.
and the tighter restrictions on chat for younger users. It sounds like they're taking these concerns seriously.
They are, and that's really important.
It gives me hope that we can create a better and safer digital world for kids.
I agree.
It can feel overwhelming sometimes. But if we all do our part, parents, educators, the gaming industry, we can make a real difference.
I think that's a great message to leave our listeners with.
Yeah, you have the power to make a difference.
In your own homes, in your own communities.
Just talk to your kids, stay informed, and advocate for safer online spaces.
Because at the end of the day, we all want the same thing.
What's that?
For our kids to be safe and to thrive in the digital world.
Well said. And on that note, I think it's time for us to wrap up this deep
I
dive.
forget.
We've covered a lot of ground today, but hopefully we've given you some valuable information and some practical tips to help you keep the young people in your life safe online.
It's been a great conversation.
As always,
Always a pleasure.
to all of you listening out there, thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll see you next time.